morning children. How are you all? I hope you are fine at home. Okay. In the last class we have discussed about the plants preparing and storing the food. In our class today we are going to discuss about the plants living and surviving. In last class we have discussed about the plants, how they are preparing their own food and where it is storing, in what way it is storing, that all we have came to know. Today we are going to discuss living and surviving of the plants. So in our surroundings we can see number of plants. So where the plants are growing, like they are growing in the mountain regions, okay, on plain regions, hot regions, desert regions, okay, and hill regions. In many places we can find the plants. But what kind of plants are growing in what kind of areas, that we are going to discuss in our class today. So first of all, terrestrial plants. Coming to the first one, terrestrial plants. What do you mean by the term terrestrial? The plants which grow on land. The plants which grow on land are called terrestrial plants. Plants which grow on land are called terrestrial plants. We can see the plants not only on the land, in the water also. We can see underground, up and anywhere, water and land we can see the plants. So coming to the terrestrial plants, first one, that is plants which are growing on a land are called terrestrial plants. The plants which grow on land are called terrestrial plants, and how they are growing on the terrestrial, that means land. In land many kinds of areas are there, like this mountains or hilly regions, plains, hot and damp regions, marshy regions, desert regions, etc. First we are going to discuss about the hill regions, hilly areas. Hilly areas, that means hill stations like Ooty, Kodaikanal, Araku. These all are hill regions that will be very high from the normal land. That means where there is a snowfall, like where there will be, the regions will be very cool. The regions will be very cool, and hill areas like pine, spruce, cedar, fir. Okay, these are some kind of plants. They will be having a cone shaped. They will be having a cone shaped trees. You can see in these regions the plants or trees are cone shaped. Why? Because whatever the ice, snowfall is falling, that won't remain on the leaves or tree, it will be falling off. Well, that is why these kind of plants or trees will be adopted. That means they will be living only in the hilly regions. Next, coming to the plains. Okay, in the plain areas, like if you take the number of trees like mango, okay, peepal, neem, etc. These all are the trees which grow on the plain regions, and what they do, they will be shedding down their leaves. They will be shedding down their leaves in the winter season. They will be shedding down their leaves in the winter season. Leaves will shed off. Leaves will fall off in the in the winter seasons, like mango, peepal, neem tree, okay, etc. And what they will do? They have number of branches. They will have number of branches. This is about the plain trees or plants which are growing in the plain regions. Next, coming to the hot and damp regions. Hot and damp regions. In these regions, damp is nothing but only some kind of wet, and hot is normal temperatures. These kind of plants will be coming examples like coconut, ebony, etc. These kind of trees, they won't shed down their leaves. They won't shed down their leaves even in a winter season. Even in a winter season, they won't shed down their leaves. Leaves will be like that only. They won't shed down their leaves in even in the winter season also. Okay. This is about the hot and damp. Okay. Some other examples of the hot and damp regions are like pepper tree, rosewood, etc. Okay. These are the few examples of hot and damp regions, and these plants will be evergreen. Always in all seasons they will be evergreen. They will be evergreen. That means they will be always looks green in color. Next, coming to the desert. Next, coming to the desert areas. In yesterday's class, in last class, I have told you about cactus plant. Okay, I told about cactus plants like this. They will be there. On that, what we can see? Spines. I said the leaves of that tree or plant can divide modified into spines. And what about this? In this, leaves are absent. Leaves are absent, and the roots, the stem is modified as a fleshy substance. Fleshy leaf-like substance. This is nothing. This is not a leaf. This is a stem. It is modified into the leaf-like structure, and only this will perform the photosynthesis process. As the leaves are absent, stem is modified into a green, sticky, spongy structure. Spongy structure. Green spongy structure. This stem only will be performing the photosynthesis process, and their roots will be very close to the soil. The roots will be very close to the soil. In order not to become dry, they will be absorbing water. That means because of the fleshy substance and the sticky substance of the stem, they will be surviving in such regions. In that regions only, in desert regions only, we can see this kind of plants. Okay, next one is marshy areas. Marshy areas. In these regions, the soil is sticky and clayey. Marshy areas. In this kind of regions, the soil is sticky and clayey, and the plants which are growing in these conditions, in these type of soil, in these type of areas are, we call it as mangroves. We call it as mangroves. And here we have one speciality. What is that? The generally roots will be seen inside the soil, but in case of marshy areas, the roots will be, because we know that plant need air and water to survive. But because of the sticky nature of the soil, what happens? That the roots of these mangrove plants, do not get air. That's why the roots will be growing on the surface. The roots will be growing on the surface, on the upper side. Growing on the upper side. And what happens growing on the upper side? And they will be like floating. We can see as a floating. And why they are coming outside? Why they are coming outside? Because to get a proper air and water. That means for breathing. For breathing sake, they will be coming outside, and these kind of roots we call it as breathing roots. We call it as a breathing roots. Okay. So marshy areas, soil is sticky, clayey, and the plants which are growing in such areas we call it as mangroves. And the roots growing on the upper side, as they doesn't reach the air inside, they will be coming outside, and these roots we call it as a breathing roots. Okay, next one is aquatic plants. Till now we have discussed about the terrestrial plants, right? So now aquatic plants. What do you mean by the term aquatic? Aquatic is nothing but the plants which are growing in water. You can see number of plants growing in water, like rivers, ponds, you can see, right? Yes. So the plants which are growing in water are called aquatic plants. And some are, we can see on the surface. Okay, on surface we can see some plants. Some are underwater and some are completely in the water. Some are completely in the water. Based on their adaptation, based on their growing nature, aquatic plants are divided into three types. Aquatic plants are divided into three types. They are floating plants, floating, fixed, and underwater plants. So, aquatic plants are divided into three types: floating plants, fixed plants, and underwater plants. First one, coming to the floating plants. What do you mean by floating plants? You can see the plants in the river or in a pond. You can see the plants that will be moving when the waves are coming. When the water is moving, here the plants are also moving along with the movement of the water. The plants are also moving. What kind of plants we can see? Like examples are duckweed, lettuce, hyacinth. Okay, hyacinth. So floating plants are duckweed, lettuce, hyacinth. So what they will be doing? They are present in the, they are living in the water, on the surface of the water, and they will be moving. As water is moving, these plants are also moving along with the water. What they will do? They will be protecting some animals. They will be protecting some animals. Protecting some animals from hot and heat and cold. Heat and cold. The animals which are living in the water, these plants are protecting them from the heat and cold. That is about the floating plants. Next, coming to the fixed plants. Next one is a fixed plants. Here, this you can see in ponds and rivers also. And what kind of plants? Like examples, a beautiful flower, national flower, lotus, and water lily. Lotus and the water lily. These are the examples of fixed plants. What happens in these conditions is, whatever the roots are there, that roots are fixed to the downside, underside of the pond. Roots are fixed Roots are fixed in the soil inside the water, and only the flower region we can see. And the stem of these plants, the stem of this lotus or water lily will be hollow. Hollow, that means inside air spaces are present. Inside the stem there is air spaces. That is why we are the leaves the flower is floating on the surface, and the leaves are also will be floating on the surface. Have you observed any time leaves of this lotus plant are also, we can see they will be floating on the surface. Yes, and these will be acting as a surface, like a nesting area of some insects and birds. They will be coming and sitting on these leaves. So the stem is designed, the stem is like a hollow inside. The stem is hollow inside, and only on the upper surface of the leaves we can see the stomata. Only on the upper surface of the leaves we can see the stomata, and downside we cannot see the stomata. This is about the fixed plant. Okay. Next one is the underwater plants. Underwater plants, that means the plants which grow completely inside the water. Examples: tape grass, pondweed, hydria. So these leaves, the plants, these kind of plants leaves are designed in a ribbon shaped. They are designed in a ribbon shape, and they do not have stomata. So they cannot take air inside or outside, but they breathe through their body surface. They breathe through their body surface. With the help of their body surface only they will be breathing. And whatever the animals which are present in the water, like fish, octopus, seahorse, or small animals are living, they will be releasing the carbon dioxide in the water, and through their body surface they will be taking the carbon dioxide, and they will be breathing in that way. And that is why with these kind of plants will be putting in a aquarium. So along with the fishes, this will be put in the aquarium. This is all about the aquatic plants. Okay, next coming to the plants of the grass family. So the plants which are belongs to the grass family help us in many ways. For example, cereals. Cereals which we are eating as a food, we are taking as a food, that grains which are obtained from the plants like wheat, rice, bajra, oats, jowar, etc. we are eating as a food. And whatever the sugar we are getting, is obtained from the sugar cane. And next coming to the bamboo plant, bamboo tree. So this is very high, tall grass. It is a tall grass, and what it will be doing with the help of these bamboo sticks, we are making the brooms, curtains, toys. Number of items will be made from this bamboo sticks. And these bamboo sticks plants are also having the medicinal values, and they will be having the vitamins. In this bamboo stick they are having a vitamins are more. They are having vitamins more. And next one is paper. Whatever the paper we are getting, that is also from the plants, and different plants are there which is giving us paper. And whatever the paper, first paper came from the grass family only, that is nothing but papyrus. Papyrus. So papyrus. That means from this word only, from this name of the plant only, the word paper came. And nowadays different plants are also used for the manufacturing of paper. Along with these grass family plants, there are these not only used in many ways, but they are also having some medicinal values, and some grass plants are used. Dried grass is used in packing some materials, and the roots of the grass will be using as a binding of the soil. In this way, plants of the grass family are useful to us. Next, coming to the some unusual plants. Yesterday we discussed in the last class that about the crotons. Yes, cactus are different plants. Here also some unusual plants are there. Generally, you know that animals are eating the plants and human beings are eating the plants. But there are some plants which eat animals. Those are nothing but the insects. The plants which eat some insects are there. What that kind of plants we call it as insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants. That means there the plants leaves are designed differently. Examples of this are pitcher, Venus flytrap, and sundew. These are the few examples of the insectivorous plants. That means these plants will be taking the food of, like trapping the insects, catching the insects. Coming to the Venus flytrap plant, their leaves are opened in this way. This is a leaf, for example, of this Venus flytrap, and it is opened. It will be in this position. Once the insect come and falls on this leaf, it immediately closes. In this way, these insectivorous plants will be trapping the insects which are coming and falling on it. That is about some unusual plants. Next, coming to the rainforest. Next one is rainforest areas. So these are nothing but these are the regions which are present near to the equator, and we can see there the number of plants. Hot and wet forest we can see here. Hot and wet forest we can see, and in these regions there will be dense trees, more number of trees along with the climbers. Large trees along with the climbers, creepers, and fungi, and maximum climbers will be going along with the trees, and some are leaves and twigs are falling down, and then total down and up we can see total number of plants. And these kind of regions we can see in Australia, Asia, South America, etc. In these regions you can see the number of plants, like tall plants along with the climbers, creepers and twigs, fungi, etc. These kind of plants are growing in these regions. Down also you can see more number of plants. This is all about the living and surviving. That means different plants which are growing on in different areas on the land, water, or in the forest. They will be growing in such areas to be, that means they will be adopting to live in such areas. This is about the living and surviving. Now I will be giving you the worksheet. Okay, here is the worksheet. Name a plant that grows in hot and damp areas. So you need to give the example of this region where what kind of plants or trees growing in these kind of regions. And next, name any two insectivorous plants. Any two insectivorous plants examples you have to give. That is nothing but the pitcher and sundew, Venus flytrap. Okay, how does cactus survive without leaves? As I said that leaves are absent in the cactus, even how they will be surviving in the desert areas, that you have to learn. What are the main uses of plants of the grass family? Just now I told about the uses that you have to learn. Here is the match the following. Here are the names of the trees: coconut, mango, cactus, pine, mangroves, and the areas where they are growing. You have to match the areas along, that means examples of that areas plants. Okay, this is all about the total lesson. I hope you all understood the class very well. To understand the concept, I will be posting the pictures in the middle so that you can understand easily. And so I'll be soon coming with the revision video. Till that time, solve the worksheet. All the best.